The book of Exodus, the second book of the Bible, tells the story of Israel's deliverance from slavery in Egypt, their journey through the wilderness, and the establishment of their covenant with God. It is a pivotal narrative that reveals God's character, His faithfulness, and His law. Exodus is divided into three main sections: Israel in Egypt, chapters 1 to 12, Journey to Sinai, chapters 13 to 18, and Covenant at Sinai, chapters 19-40. 1. Israel in Egypt, chapters 1 to 12. A. Israel's oppression, Exodus 1. The book opens with the Israelites thriving in Egypt, descendants of Jacob's family who migrated during Joseph's time. A new Pharaoh who did not know Joseph perceives the Israelites as a threat due to their growing numbers. To suppress them, he enslaves them and orders the killing of all Hebrew male infants. Despite these oppressive measures, the Israelites continue to multiply, and the midwives, fearing God, defy Pharaoh's orders. B. The birth and calling of Moses, Exodus 2 to 4. Moses' early life. A Hebrew woman hides her son in a basket on the Nile to save him from Pharaoh's decree. Pharaoh's daughter finds and raises the child, naming him Moses. Moses' exile. As an adult, Moses kills an Egyptian who was beating a Hebrew slave. Fearing retaliation, he flees to Midian, where he marries Zipporah, the daughter of a priest, and becomes a shepherd. God's call. At Mount Horeb, God appears to Moses in a burning bush and commissions him to deliver the Israelites from Egypt. Despite Moses' reluctance and self-doubt, God assures him of divine support and provides his brother Aaron as a spokesman. See confrontation with Pharaoh, Exodus 5 to 11. Moses and Aaron confront Pharaoh, demanding that he let the Israelites go to worship God. Pharaoh refuses and increases the Israelites' workload, deepening their suffering. God sends 10 plagues as signs of his power and judgment, progressively demonstrating his supremacy over Egypt's gods. The plagues include turning the Nile to blood, frogs, gnats, flies, livestock disease, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and the death of the firstborn. D. The Passover and Exodus, Exodus 12. The final plague, the death of the firstborn, prompts the institution of the Passover. Each Israelite family sacrifices a lamb, applying its blood to their doorposts, so the angel of death passes over their homes. Pharaoh finally relents, and the Israelites leave Egypt, taking with them great wealth given by the Egyptians. This marks the beginning of their journey toward the Promised Land. Number 2. Journey to Sinai, chapters 13-18. A. Crossing the Red Sea, Exodus 13-14. God leads the Israelites with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. When Pharaoh changes his mind and pursues them, the Israelites find themselves trapped between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's army. God parts the Red Sea through Moses, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry ground. When the Egyptians follow, the waters return, drowning Pharaoh's army. This miraculous deliverance solidifies God's power and his commitment to his people. B. Provision in the wilderness, Exodus 15:17. The Israelites face various challenges in the wilderness, including lack of water and food. Despite their complaints, God provides for them. Water at Marah, God makes bitter water drinkable. Manna and quail, he provides daily bread from heaven and quail for meat. Water from the rock, at Rephidim, God instructs Moses to strike a rock, bringing forth water. The Israelites also defeat the Amalekites in battle with Moses' intercession, highlighting God's continued protection. See Jethro's advice, Exodus 18. Moses' father-in-law Jethro advises him to appoint leaders to help judge the people, establishing a system of shared responsibility and governance. 3. Covenant at Sinai, chapters 19-40. Arrival at Mount Sinai, Exodus 19. The Israelites arrive at Mount Sinai, where God makes a covenant with them. He declares them a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, contingent on their obedience. The mountain is enveloped in thunder, lightning, and smoke, signifying God's holiness and power. B. The giving of the law, Exodus 20-24. The 10 Commandments, Exodus 20. God speaks directly to the Israelites, giving them the foundational laws that govern their relationship with Him and one another. The Covenant Code, Exodus 21-23. God provides additional laws covering social justice, worship, and morality. These laws reflect God's concern for justice, mercy, and holiness. The ratification of the covenant, Exodus 24. Moses reads the covenant to the people who agree to obey. He sprinkles blood on the altar and the people, symbolizing their binding agreement with God. C. Instructions for the tabernacle. Exodus 25-31. God gives detailed instructions for building the tabernacle, a portable sanctuary where His presence will dwell among the Israelites. These chapters describe the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred chest to house the tablets of the law, the lampstand, table, and altar, furnishings for worship, priestly garments and consecration, detailed instructions for the priests, especially Aaron and his sons, the Sabbath, a sign of the covenant and a holy day of rest. D. The golden calf incident, Exodus 32-34. While Moses is on Mount Sinai receiving the law, the Israelites grow impatient and create a golden calf to worship, violating the covenant. God threatens to destroy them, but Moses intercedes, pleading for forgiveness. God relents, though there are severe consequences for their disobedience. Moses ascends the mountain again, and God renews the covenant. Moses' face shines with God's glory upon his return. E. Construction of the tabernacle, Exodus 35-40. The Israelites obediently construct the tabernacle according to God's instructions, using materials willingly offered by the people. Once completed, God's glory fills the tabernacle, signifying His presence among His people and the fulfillment of His promise to dwell with them. Key themes in Exodus 1. Redemption and deliverance. The liberation from Egypt is a central theme, symbolizing God's power to save His people and foreshadowing spiritual deliverance in later biblical narratives. 2. Covenant relationship. God establishes a binding covenant with Israel, underscoring His desire for a holy people set apart for His purposes. 3. God's presence. The tabernacle symbolizes God dwelling among His people, demonstrating His accessibility and holiness. 4. Law and worship. The laws given at Sinai define the Israelites' relationship with God and one another, emphasizing justice, morality, and reverence for God. 5. Intercession. Moses' role as an intercessor points to the importance of mediation between God and humanity. Conclusion. The book of Exodus is a foundational text for understanding God's redemptive plan and His covenant relationship with humanity. It portrays a God who delivers, reveals His will, and dwells among His people, establishing principles that resonate throughout the rest of the Bible. From the oppression in Egypt to the glory of the tabernacle, Exodus chronicles a transformative journey that defines the identity of Israel as God's chosen nation.